Good afternoon across Australia and morning in Perth. I'd like to acknowledge that we're gathering both in person and remotely today across a range of traditional lands. Our country, its lands and languages have been protected and respected by Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders for thousands of years. Let's all thank them and pay our respects to Elders past and present. I'm broadcasting from Brisbane to you today, and I feel very lucky to be in this room because this time last year, this lunch was a remote one due to flooding. Queensland and northern New South Wales have had such a difficult year with continued rain and flooding events. Again, I want to acknowledge your resilience and your commitment in the room to being here today. And I'm going to begin today by acknowledging some of our national guests. In Australia, the Government, the Department of Foreign Affairs and the Department of Women are key partners in helping create a safe and equal country and region. Welcome Senator the Honourable Katie Gallagher, Minister for Finance and Minister for Women. Minister Gallagher, thank you for joining us in Canberra and speaking today. We also have the Honourable Michelle Rowland, Minister for Communications, joining us in Sydney. And again in Canberra, welcome to Jan Adams, the Secretary of the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade, and also Stephanie Copus-Campbell, the Australian Ambassador for Women and Girls. I'd like to recognise the many members from DFAT and the Office for Women in the room right around Australia today. And I'd also like to recognise our national partners Westpac and Optus, and I want to welcome Peter King, the CEO of Westpac, who joins us in Sydney. In addition, I want to acknowledge the ongoing partnership with Seven West Media and each of the talented MCs who are supporting us across Australia at every lunch today. I'm delighted to have the Honourable Anastasia Palaszczuk, the Premier of Queensland, with us here in Brisbane. Thank you for joining us. I'd also like to call out the State Ministers for Women who join us from right across Australia at each lunch today and thank them for their support. And across all of our events today, we have welcomed the distinguished members of the Diplomatic Corps, as well as several political and corporate leaders. And finally, we have the UN Women Australia Board at each of our events today. Please take a moment to stand, and please remain standing as I ask our national champions, our UN Women's state chapters, our national team, and our volunteers to all stand, please, so across Australia we can acknowledge your thousands of hours of contribution to UN Women. So just for a moment, I'd like to reflect on our theme for the day, Cracking the Code, Innovation for a Gender Equal Future. It's a really critical theme because I think it's as relevant to our children as it is to our senior community. And today is about hearing from women both in Australia and globally who have created lasting and sustainable change. We're delighted to give you the opportunity to hear from both Alyssa Milano and also Tarana Burke. Both ladies ignited a digital fire under the Me Too movement. It's one of the most important examples, the online and digital world being used to effect true gender-based change on a global scale. Women feel more empowered and are able to call out moments of truly unacceptable behaviour due to that movement. And that's what our theme is encompassing today. The online and digital space should be positive and empowering for all people, not another space to reinforce biases and divides. And we hear all too often about the impacts of social media, in particular on women and girls. And now we're moving into an AI age, working with search engines powered by ChatGPT, Bard and Ernie, and a plethora of other tools beginning to demonstrate the power of this space. So I thought today, rather than just hearing from me behind the lectern on the biases of the internet It might be more important to demonstrate them to you, because finally, with the growth and the development of AI platforms, we can really get an idea of the online biases that exist. Because these platforms create their responses from billions of data points right across the internet. They are able to truly shine a light on the consensus of data that we and our children are using to search. And I just wanted to thank the team at Deakin University for generally working with the UNWA team to provide a range of different AI tools for this. So we asked the AI to show us a picture of what a board of directors looks like. And here's the picture it provided. But maybe that's just one example and one AI, right? So what does a CEO look like? Okay. What does a nurse look like? So the gender biases go both ways. If you're a young boy at school looking to be a nurse, it's really unhelpful to have internet bias like this. Okay, but enough of the pictures. What about words? I asked ChatSonic to describe for me a good-looking person. She was tall and slender. She had porcelain skin, blue eyes, delicate. It was extraordinary. Okay, finally, Dali, what does a smart person look like? So I think we're now drawing an impactful picture across a number of different AI platforms. We deliberately used a number so we didn't get bias in the results. And the consensus across billions of points of internet data summarises power looks male, helpful and attractive looks female. The internet itself is clearly reinforcing the unintended biases in all of us. Now, the team at UNWA have just loaded these examples onto social media, so I'm going to ask you not just to attend this lunch, but I'm going to encourage you to repost and send out some of these examples. Let's get the AI itself to shine a light back on the internet, because sharing this bias adds new data points, and it's the very first step in reversing that bias and building a better consensus of information on the internet. Welcome again to Australia's celebration of International Women's Day, and join us in harnessing the internet to begin to crack the code. Thank you.